to play football. So you have to play football. You have to pass the ball. You have to keep possession. You have to play with a certain style and energy.
So welcome back, people, to MG Sports TV. Thank you very much for joining again. Massive appreciation for the support as always. Please do hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're here for the first time. Steve McClaren, as we all know, we already know that. Say he's the man. He's the man at the job. He's the man at the helm for the Reggae Boyz. But what do we expect from Steve McClaren? How do we expect to see the Reggae Boyz play? This is the important part. Now, I haven't done any more video since the announcement, and I really wanted to do some investigation and do some research on how I expect to see the Reggae Boyz play going forward from here. Quite an interesting one. So I've said credits to the coaching, elite coaching, and also the coaching manual. So these are the two places that I went to get some further information on how he coaches. This is coming from Steve McClaren's own mouth. There's videos of him speaking about playing the ball out from the back, high pressure, tempo of play, what we do when we lose the ball, all this. So we'll be getting into that. But also we'll be also reading. I'm going to read you guys a small part of his biography, just a small part. It won't be a lot. And also, so sit tight, listen up. Then we're going to get into some videos of how his team plays. Clips, short clips of how his team plays, where his particular striker takes a position, and those type of stuff. It won't be that detailed as how I would want it to be. I try my best to do it. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to really happen, but I'll see how best I can get it out of the way. So, nevertheless, as I said, just sit back. Let's go now. Steve McClaren has a wealth of coaching and managerial experience, working in 3 countries and with the England national team. Steve enjoyed a playing career with all Derby. All right, move forward. He quickly moved into coaching, beginning his coaching career at Oxford United reserve team coach before being snapped up by Jim Smith in 1995 to take up a coaching position at Derby County. McClaren spent nearly 4 years as coach at Derby, becoming Jim Smith's assistant manager as the Rams were promoted to the Premier League in 95-96 season. Subsequently, the duo managed an impressive settling period at the Pride Park, finishing 12th and 9th, respectively. Following his success with Derby, McClaren was invited to succeed Brian Kidd as assistant manager to Alex Ferguson at Man United. In his first season with United, McClaren helped achieve an historic treble as the Red collected the FA Cup, Premier League, and Champions League. Yeah, that treble, that famous treble. In June 2001, he was approached by Middlesbrough owner Steve Gibson. I was quickly convinced that he'd be the right move for them. McClaren's 5-year tenure on Teesside saw him establish himself as one of the Middlesbrough most successful managers. McClaren was the first Englishman to win a major honour since 1996, the Football League Cup, and the first to reach a UEFA Cup final since 1998. McClaren, who had previously worked in England setup with Peter Taylor and Sven-Goran Eriksson, was confirmed as the national team manager on August 1st, 2006. He made former England coach Terry Venables his assistant. He would remain in position until November 2007. In his 18 games in charge, England, he won 9, drew 4, and lost 5, with an overall percentage of 50%, win percentage of 50%. Since managing England, McClaren excelled during his spell in Holland. He joined FC20 in June 2008, and in his first season in charge, he led the side to a second place in the Dutch League, the final of the Dutch Cup, and later stages of the UEFA Cup. In 2009-10 season, McClaren enjoyed greater success by winning the Eredivisie League title and being named Dutch Coach of the Year in 2010. McClaren has subsequently worked at VfL Wolfsburg, Nottingham Forest, Derby County, with 2 spells at Derby County actually, FC20 again, Newcastle, and QPR. And moving on from there, he went to Manchester United as assistant coach under Eric Ten Hag. Anyway, so that's a lot of information, quite a lot of information. Now, overall, let me tell you, overall, his best stint as a head coach was when he was 2 places. When he was at Eredivisie, was in the Eredivisie actually, was his best stint. He actually did fairly well at Middlesbrough as well. I have to say, a lot of games Tony had when he was manager. 30. But he has a heavy wealth of experience on his CV, so it's quite a good look. Now let's first touch on the first clippings. We're going to touch on also the aspect of what he wants to do. Now let me just bring this up so you guys. My apologies on that. Good. So let me just take our time bringing this down. Now let's get back to this. Good. So as I said, playing off from the back. You're not going to see much here because I just did 2 clips. I'm going to show a small piece of his team playing off from the back, but also his team progressing the ball through the thirds of the field. Good. What I want you to look here, you see he has a holding midfielder, one single player standing in the middle of the park there, who's always involved in the game. Quite an interesting one. This year's setup is a 4-3-3 setup right here that we're seeing right here. As you can see, the 2 midfielders ahead of him, running off him, the number 8 and the 10, and the CDM who's going to release the ball in the half space to the right winger. And as the right winger inverts and come inside, you're going to see the striker breaking off the defender's line. Good. Peeling off the defender's back. Find himself inside the box. Look at the midfielders, the incoming midfielders. They're attacking the box aggressively. Very, very aggressively. Now, let me bring it back just a little bit so you guys can see something. I want to see something. Now, in this transition, you don't normally see the Reggae Boyz set up like this. Because most of the time, we have like 1 striker or 2 strikers close to each other. Sometimes they occupy the same space. But you'll find out is that the 2 strikers normally isolated and the ball will go over the top. That's how we normally play. Now, look here, people. We have the wingers. We have the 2 wingers. We have 2 wingers, one out left. You can see my raise the hand, look far left. And the winger who just release the ball to the midfield, who just cutting inside in the midfield. And the 2 midfielders, the number 10 and the number 8 alongside each other attacking the box. Notice you don't see the only midfielder inside the frame because he's not pushing up too high. Because in the event of a counter-attack, he will be in a good position. That's how his rest defense sets up. Them don't push too high. Let me play the content now. So you have all of 5 lanes here being attacked. So you have the striker now going to occupy the winger lane, and the winger who plays the ball to the striker occupy the striker lane, going in the central zone. And that's where we see the goal. Out wide, out left, far left of your screen, you'll see that the winger still a cry for the ball in loads of space. This is how his team attack. Let's continue. And the winger don't come inside. He consistently stay outside in the event the ball beat the 2 man who attack the back post. So just in case. So it's actually quite a smart setup. It's actually quite a really smart setup, I have to say. Nice setup, nice way to set up his team, nice way team attack. I think we have seen a lot of team attack like that. The question is, will we see his team attack like that now? No. Tempo and pressure. Let's touch on these two aspects. Speaking on the coaching manual, in his training session, he emphasized on tempo. He wants his team to play very fast. As you can see in that clip a while ago, for them to do those stuff, you have to be moving really fast, thinking ahead of the game. So he's emphasizing on tempo. That's one of his biggest emphasis, tempo. Second, pressure. Either pressure on the ball or pressure off the ball. He wants his players to move aggressive in position, very aggressive in position, like what you see of the striker. Quick in possession, moving to the channel. The winger moving inside on the ball. The winger who's on the ball, move inside very aggressively. Striker off the ball, moving in the channel, extremely aggressively as well. So these are the things that he demands of his team, and they're also occupying all 5 lanes. Love to see when teams occupy 5 lanes. No, he's at FC20, he was known as a pragmatic coach, but at Millsburg and Derby is known more for an attacking coach, which means that he has both packed, which I think is a good thing. Now, will we see that in the Reggae Boyz colours? We don't know as yet. So we're going to touch on another clip. Let's touch on another clip, people. Let's touch on another next clip. So it's another attacking clip as well. So let's touch on that also. Here we go again. Turnover in the middle of the park. Good. As you can see. No, let me start back from here. Let me start back from here. Good. So, who win the ball? The number 8, the number 6 won the ball. CDM won the ball. And the moment they win the ball, look how quick, and as I said, pressure. Look how quick and the tempo they're moving at. Quick, very, very aggressive. Look at the central midfielder now. The number 6, still down, can just win the ball, still down the ball. Look at the central midfielder, all my attack. Trying to go and fly and attack as fast as possible. Good. Now, look how much numbers we see forward. And as you can see, as I mentioned earlier, the last player in white is the CDM. His CDMs always stay just behind the attack, just in case of a turnover. Now, look at the players attacking all 5 lanes. Again, look how many players we see in attack now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 players in attack. Let's see what players are defending. 2, 4, 6. Well, basically 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 players are defend. So we actually outnumber them going forward. And they're on the back foot, which means makes it way more difficult for them. Because they might try to get back. So it's quite smart here. As you can see, the formation take a little time and shape out just as they must score the goal now. Look at how the team shape. Look at how the team shape now, as you can see. So, yeah, as mentioned, these are positive. These are quite positive to see. When I was doing my research, as I said, people... That's how we don't do video so long. I need to zoom in. I need to zoom in a lot on this coach to see what he has to offer, what he's going to bring to the Reggae Boyz team. And it's quite an interesting one. Really, really interesting one. I'm not saying that boy I'm gonna save we. I'm not saying that. But what I'm seeing so far seem positive based on what I was hearing on the media, because most persons are telling me, say, boy, that defensive coach is all dinosaur in the game. And all these type of comments. So I say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take it up. I'm going to research for myself and see what exactly this coach has to offer. More so than listen to what people are saying rather than before doing my own research. Because most of us would have said that he's under Ten Hag. We don't know. We can't know exactly what he's doing. That's why I went to do the research, even though some of these games are from far back. But these are best example what he has to offer as the head coach. So I have to go to games. Look at games that he is the head coach of those games. So he will be the head coach of the Reggae Boyz. So I have to look at him in that context. So pragmatic when he needs to be, attacking when he needs to be. Formations, quite important. Formations. 3-5-2, 4-5-1, 4-4-2. We don't like hear that. And importantly, 4-3-3. And 2 games I've shown you a while ago were from the 4-3-3 system. So quite an interesting one. Here we go. People developing their own thought process. Go and do their own research. Now, if you come and say, it's important when you do no research. Everything upon YouTube. Just Google, type in whatever. Everything is there. And you'll see it for yourself. If a foolishness may chat, no problem at all. These are what I gather. And if what me gather not accurate in your perspective, no problem at all. We can have that discussion in the comment section. Anyways, big up on yourself, people. Smash the like button, hit subscribe button. MG Sports TV, people. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Have a wonderful day. God bless. We're out. Boom.